It was very, it was something that was at least it was very, very similar to something that I had in my childhood. It was totally disconnected to the news broadcast. It was just totally not part of the news broadcast. It was like they had taken the news broadcaster's voice and used the software that I told you about, used the software to make the news broadcaster say this phrase, and somehow sent it through the television signal so that it sounded, you know what I mean? It sounded like the news broadcaster was saying this. But like I said, I wasn't looking at the TV. So, for some people, and then they do these things because they want you to look like you're schizophrenic. And that's all part of their whole game. And another thing that I wanted to tell you is that they try to foster and create delusions in people. They tell people that they try to make you believe that you are special. Remember telling you this before. They try to make you fantasize, basically. They try to make you think that you maybe have some type of power or something, that you can do things with your mind, or that you can, just whatever it is. They try to foster these really delusional beliefs. And so I would just encourage anybody that if you feel like somebody's trying to foster beliefs like that in you, then just know that they do that to everybody. That's like their way of, it's another way of controlling you. And so that's like one of the reasons that they were doing that through the television. And I know how they do that. It's not surprising, but it was still traumatizing for me, because even at that time, because this was more recent, even at that time, I knew about this technology, but I just wasn't able to do anything about it. And so it was very, very traumatizing still. So I wanted to tell you about that. Let's see, I have this stuff written down. The barking man. Okay. There's another TI that has said that she had somebody come up, that she had a perp come up to her and bark in her face like a dog. I also had a situation where I was at a bus stop years ago, and a man was standing there, and he just started barking like a dog to somebody across the street. It was really weird. Really, really weird. I think that they're able to make these people do this. I think this has to do with the control, and they use trauma. They traumatize the person, and then they're able to make them not only say things and do things, but they can make you bark like a dog or make animal noises. I woke up from a dream one time making really weird noises. I woke up one time from a dream. Actually, several times I've woken up with my hands and my body in the shape like they shape you when you're at the morgue. And I don't sleep like that. I don't sleep like that naturally. So I know that they're able to move. They're able to move your body while you sleep. They're able to make you say things. They can affect your dreams. They can totally control you in your dreams. They can control your thoughts while you're dreaming. They can send images to your brain while you're dreaming. I know that for a fact because I had one time this really horrible image, and I woke up right away, and my eyes were still closed, but I could see the imprint. As my eyes were closed, I could see the light imprint. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how when you stare at a light bulb and then you close your eyes right after it, and you can still see the negative imprint of the light bulb? That's what it was. It was like the negative imprint of this image that I saw in my dream was in. With my eyes closed, I saw that negative in the same exact way, like just, kind of like running by like a negative, like a film negative. So I know that was my proof right there that, look, hey, when you have a dream of something, you don't see a light imprint on your eyelids after you wake up, unless they're beaming it to your brain. You know what I mean? So I know, I just know. And there are other reasons why I know. I mean, they've sent me dreams, and then the next day, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't want to get into that. I've explained it in other videos. Because honestly, I can't even think off the top of my head. Because I've written this other stuff down. I didn't write that stuff down because I've already mentioned it. But my point was, oh yeah, the barking man. Yeah, so they can make you, while you're sleeping, they can like move your limbs. Oh, another thing recently that happened. So I was traumatized in my dream, and then in my dream, a voice said to me, turn over on your right side, and I did it. But as I was doing it, I woke up, and I was like, why? And I laid there for a while, just thinking to myself, why the hell did I do what they told me to do? Why the hell did I do that? And I was really freaked out by the fact that they were able to get me to do something in my sleep, and I was freaked out. The scary thing, though, is that they can make people do things while they're awake. If you're on drugs, if you're on drugs, they can make you do things while you're awake. That's why Jesus kept saying that we needed to stay sober. It's not because he's like anti-marijuana or anything. It's because he knows that they're using drugs to control our minds, and if you're using a drug, they're going to be able to control you while you're awake. Oh, the barking man. So the thing I was going to say about that is the reason that I know that targeted individuals are Christ's people is because, or I believe that, granted, there are people that are pretending to be TIs, and they're not TIs. So I'm not saying that everybody who claims to be a TI is. But the true TIs out there are Christ's people. The barking dog thing. I mean, that just by chance I found that in and I have it in one of my videos. I think it's a book of Psalms. It's excerpts from the book of Psalms, but the name of the video was King David, a targeted individual. Well, there's scriptures in there about he's describing being gang stalked. He's describing exactly the same stuff that we've been going through, down to details like the barking, like people barking like a dog. I mean, I had a guy do that, bark like a dog at the bus stop around me. Another TI described that. King David is describing that along with his other targeted. I mean, he was a targeted individual. I'm telling you, this is the Satan that's doing this to us. It's a race of people that are serpents. They're like serpents. They have like reptilian brains or something. I mean, I don't really know why God calls them a serpent, but it's probably a little bit scary for some people if they have never heard of this stuff before. And I, of course, didn't believe any of that stuff for the longest time, but now more and more I realize, you know what, there is something going on here that's really, really, really weird. But yeah, I mean, King David described the same thing, the barking man. Incidentally, I mean, I don't have this written down, but around that same time that I saw the barking man at the bus stop, there was some time, I think maybe they were time anomalies, or they could have been holographic images, I'm not sure, but I was sitting on the bus. This is weird, you guys. And this really freaked me out. I was sitting on the bus, and I try to remember this. I saw a guy at a bus stop while I was sitting on the bus, and he was wearing a very distinctive clothing. I don't remember what the clothing was now, but it was very distinctive. It was something like this. I think he was wearing like a bandana, or, I don't know. It was very distinctive the way that he was dressed. And I saw him at this bus stop. And then he didn't get on the bus. He was just like, it may not have even been a bus stop. I don't know. He was just, the bus stopped for some reason, and I saw this guy. And then the bus kept going, and we went down the street and around the corners, totally other location. And this guy, the same guy I saw on the other block, got on the bus. I kid you not. Then something else happened. I can't remember what it was. Oh, and then that happened again on another occasion several years later. I saw a man again. I saw a man in two different locations. The same exact. He was a homeless guy, and the same exact guy. I saw him in two different locations on the same day, like sleeping. Or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was like one right after the other. Like it was within seconds. It wasn't like, oh, they just walked there. No, I'm talking like within seconds or minutes, I saw this person in a totally different area. You know what I mean? Like they were walking, I was driving, and very weird. So yeah, I think they are doing something with holograms, because back then I didn't know that's what it was, or didn't even think that was what it was. I just thought I was having time anomalies, and I don't know, maybe that is what I was experiencing, but now I kind of think, I don't know, that seems like holograms to me. But I just don't even know. I really do suspect they're able to affect the way that I see people, though. What's weird is that lately I've been meeting people that not only do they look like somebody that I've known before, but they act like that person, or they have the same exact voice as that person. It's weird, you guys. I don't know what's going on. It's really, really weird. Okay, so there was that, and then there was something else about that too. Like there was another incident where there were two. Oh, I know what it was. There was another incident where there were two different people that got on the bus, and they were identical to each other. And I thought maybe they were identical twins. I was just like, oh, they're identical twins, or yeah, that was my first thought. I just thought, oh, they're twins. But they didn't talk to each other. They didn't sit next to each other. They sat in totally different places on the bus. And they didn't speak to each other at all. And they didn't seem like they were mad. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't seem like they were having a fight or something. It seemed like they didn't know each other. But they were identical. And that happened right around the same time. So it was almost like maybe somebody was showing me something. I don't know, but that was definitely not normal. Okay. Alright, here's another one. Here's another one. Weird stuff that I saw. I went to a pop concert in 2008. I'm not going to tell you who the pop star is, but I went to a concert. There was a new pop star. I was living in Hollywood at the time, and there was this new pop star. I didn't even know who she was. But my niece's boyfriend had tickets, and my niece was visiting at the time, and so she was like, "Why don't you come with us to this, this concert?" It was like a club. It was a club tour, is what it was. It was a club tour in Hollywood, and she's like, "You come to this club and watch this, this new pop star." And I was like, "Who's that?" Because it was like this really weird name, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, it's fine." And it was I can't remember if it was November or December. It was like November or December of 2008. So we go to see this new pop star, and I mean, whoever this person was big. I mean, at the time I didn't know who it was, but I mean, there was this line all the way around the block, and I mean, it was just a huge crowd outside the club. It's a huge event. And so we're going in, and I mean, there was just people. Oh, man, it was just crowds and crowds and crowds of people. I'm like, wow, at the time, I didn't know who it was. And I was just like, wow, this person's really, this person's got a big following. Like, this is a really, really big event. So we go into this, it was like a club, we finally go into this room. It wasn't really like a big, huge concert. You know what I'm saying? This was like a club tour. So it was like, there was a stage, and the stage was kind of, not like a big stage or anything. It was kind of, it was like a regular sized stage for a club.